This movie Hannibal is released by Warner Brothers. Directed by Edgar G, Ulmer and Carlo Ludovico Bragaglia. Produced by Ottavio Paggi. Starring Victor Mature as Hannibal. Featuring Gabriele Ferzetti as Fabius Maximus. Rita Gam as Silvia. Millie Vitali as Danila. Rick Battaglia as Hasdrubal. Franco Silva as Maharbal. Terence Hill as Mario Girardi as Quintilius. Bud Spencer as Carlo Pedersoli as Rutario. The story of the 1959 film Hannibal begins in the ancient halls of the Roman Senate. The atmosphere there is thick with tension and fear. The year is 218 BC. Rome is the rising power of the Mediterranean world. However, they have never faced a threat quite like the one currently marching toward them. The senators gather in a grand chamber. They listen to reports from scouts and messengers. These men bring terrifying news from the north. A Carthaginian general named Hannibal has done the impossible. He is played by Victor Mature. He has marched a massive army from Spain through the land of Gaul. He is currently leading his men across the treacherous peaks of the Alps. The mountains are frozen and dangerous. The Roman leaders are skeptical at first. No military commander in history has ever attempted this. It is rare to move a professional army over such jagged terrain. The army includes cavalry and massive war elephants. Doing this during the winter is even more lethal. However, the reports are true. High up in the mountains, the screen shows the brutal reality of this journey. The wind howls with a primal fury. The snow is very deep. It swallows men and animals alike. Hannibal is depicted as a man of iron will. He walks among his soldiers. He does not ride in a carriage. He shows them that he suffers the same cold. He suffers the same hunger that they do. This leadership style earns him undying loyalty. His diverse army includes Carthaginians and Numidians. It also includes Spaniards. As they climb higher, the conditions become deadly. Massive blocks of ice fall from the cliffs. These blocks crush the soldiers. They send supplies tumbling into deep ravines. The famous elephants are struggling the most. These giant beasts are native to the heat of Africa. The thin mountain air is hard for them. The freezing temperatures cause them to scream in distress. Hannibal remains focused. At one point, the path is blocked by a massive rockslide. Hannibal does not turn back. He directs his men to heat the rocks with giant fires. Then they pour sour wine or vinegar over them. This makes the stones crack and crumble. This historical detail shows his genius for engineering. It shows his skill in problem solving. During this crossing, the army is harassed by local mountain tribes. These tribes see the invaders as an easy target. Hannibal realizes he cannot fight a war on two fronts. He meets with a local chieftain of a mountain tribe. He uses a combination of intimidation and clever diplomacy. Hannibal forms an alliance with the chieftain. He convinces the local leader that Rome is the true enemy. He says Rome is the enemy of all free people. He tells them that by helping Carthage they will share in the spoils. They will benefit from the coming conquest. The chieftain provides guides and food. This allows the remains of the army to descend. They enter the lush plains of northern Italy. Hannibal has lost half of his men to the cold. He has lost many of his animals. Yet he has achieved the impossible. He is now on the doorstep of Rome. Back in Rome, the news of his arrival causes a panic. Senator Fabius Maximus is a wise leader. He is one of the few who understands the gravity of the situation. He is a man of caution and strategy. He believes that Hannibal is too dangerous to fight directly. He avoids a head-to-head battle. However, the other senators are arrogant. They believe the Roman legions are invincible. They want to crush the Carthaginian barbarian immediately. While the Romans argue, Hannibal begins his campaign. He moves through the Italian countryside, causing destruction. During a scouting mission, Hannibal's troops encounter a Roman woman. Her name is Silvia. She is high-born and noble. She is the niece of Senator Fabius Maximus. She is traveling with a small escort. They are surrounded by Carthaginian cavalry. Silvia is a woman of great beauty. She has a strong spirit. She does not cower in fear. She stands her ground. This courage intrigues Hannibal. He decides to take her captive. He does not want to harm her. She is held in the Carthaginian camp. A complex relationship begins to develop between them. At first, Silvia views Hannibal as a monster. She sees him as a destroyer of civilization. But she spends time with him. She sees a man of culture. She sees his deep conviction. He believes he is liberating the world. He wants to end Roman tyranny. Hannibal is captivated by her. He finds her intelligence refreshing. He likes her Roman pride. This is a change from the sycophants in his own ranks. The love story between Hannibal and Silvia becomes a problem. It is a central point of conflict within the camp. Many of Hannibal's top officers are furious. This includes his own brother. Other high-ranking commanders agree. They believe their leader is distracted. They think Silvia is a Roman spy. They fear his love for her will make him soft. They think it will lead him into a Roman trap. The tension boils over. An unsuccessful attempt is made on Silvia's life. Some of Hannibal's own soldiers try to kill her. Hannibal is enraged by this betrayal. He punishes those involved. He makes it clear that Silvia is under his protection. This internal strife mirrors the external war. Hannibal moves further south. The battles become more frequent. They become more violent. In one fierce engagement, Hannibal is in the thick of the fighting. A Roman spear or a piece of shrapnel strikes him. It hits him in the face. it causes a grievous wound. This leads to a historical fact. Hannibal loses the sight in one of his eyes. He recovers and wears a black eye patch. His resolve does not waver. If anything, the pain makes him more determined. He wants to see the gates of Rome. In Rome, Fabius Maximus continues to plead for peace. He wants a strategy of exhaustion. He tells the Senate to burn the crops. He tells them to retreat into the walled cities. This would let Hannibal's army starve. They would wear themselves out. He argues that time is Rome's best ally. But the Senate is led by impulsive men. One of these men is Terentius Varro. He calls Fabius a coward. They raised the largest army Rome has ever seen. It consists of tens of thousands of legionaries. They are convinced they can overwhelm Hannibal. They believe in sheer numbers. This leads to the monumental Battle of Cannae. The film depicts this battle with grand scale. It shows tactical detail. Hannibal knows he is outnumbered. He uses a brilliant double envelopment strategy. He places his weakest troops in the center. He puts his strongest cavalry on the wings. The Romans charge forward. The center of the Carthaginian line bows inward. This draws the Romans deeper into a trap. Suddenly the heavy cavalry circles around the back. The Romans find themselves surrounded on all sides. It is a slaughter. The Roman army is virtually annihilated. The field of Cannae becomes a graveyard. It is the end of the pride of Rome. Despite this massive victory, Hannibal does not march on Rome. He lacks heavy siege equipment. He cannot break through the city's massive walls. He is waiting for reinforcements from Carthage. These reinforcements never arrive in the numbers he needs. In Rome, the mood is one of total despair. There is no other choice. The Senate finally turns back to Fabius Maximus. They give him full control of the military. Fabius begins his Fabian tactics. He avoids big battles. He constantly harasses Hannibal's supply lines. This slow grind takes a toll on the army. The Carthaginians are tired and homesick. They are deep in enemy territory. There is no easy way out. The romantic tragedy also reaches its peak. Silvia is torn by her feelings. She loves Hannibal. But she is loyal to her family. She is loyal to her country. She eventually returns to Rome. The shame of her association with the enemy is too much. She loses her hope for a peaceful future. In a moment of ultimate despair, Silvia takes her own life. At the same time, Hannibal's personal life catches up with him. His wife and young son arrive from Carthage. This arrival is a cold reminder. It reminds him of the life he left behind. It shows the duty he has to his own people. Seeing his family makes Hannibal realize the cost. The war has cost him everything. He is a man who has won every battle. But he is slowly losing the war. The momentum has shifted. The Romans are now attacking Carthaginian territories. They attack in Spain and Africa. This forces Hannibal to leave Italy. He must go to defend his home. The film ends on a somber note. It is very reflective. A postscript appears on the screen. It informs the audience that the Italian campaign ended. But Hannibal did not stop fighting. He continued to lead armies. He resisted Roman expansion in other lands. He did this for many more years. The movie portrays him as a tragic figure. He is not just a conqueror. He is a man of immense genius. He was ultimately defeated by the weight of an empire. Rome was an empire that refused to give up. The closing shots show the lonely figure of the general. He looks out over the landscape. He once dominated this land. He is a man whose name would be remembered. He is remembered for thousands of years. He was the greatest threat Rome ever faced.